How do you think about a 3-day work week? Because this 5-day work week was invented by Henry Ford in 1920s for factory workers. When he came up with this 40-hour work week concept, right? That's when it was invented, when machines were doing bulk of the work and human were also involved actively. Now that we have AI, robo and all of that, right? So we're not creating enough jobs for people that are coming into the workforce every year, and people become more value driven. It's not just time driven. Except the services companies, they
Yeah.
bill by the hour, right? That is why 40 hours per week is essential. Anything, you reduce anything on the 40 hours per week, right? Their top line only gets affected, forget the bottom line. So the top line only gets affected. So that is a thing. But with more services product companies coming up, right, with value driven, if it's a 3-day work week, we can double the employment overnight.
And you question
And
Mr. Murthy for mentioning 70 hours.
no, as in, I'm happy to say, if you're an entrepreneur, right, or if you're a CXO, at CXO level, every employee works almost every waking hour. There is no, the company literally owns you, okay? And you're an entrepreneur, it's like, it's a given. You wanted to do it, you do it. Nobody is appreciating you for working 7 days a week, 15 hours a day. Nobody is appreciating it. But when you give somebody, that person has no, part of the success story,
Yeah.
or is not getting even a small portion of the success pie, but just given peanuts for as a salary, and you expect him to work 70 hours a week, that is not right. So you, like, in a product company, if you're if you're the founder, or if you're a part of the founding team, you work 70 hours, you work 90 hours, you work almost all the time, no problem. Okay, then you are walking away with the bulk of the wealth, and you are doing bulk of the work also. Here you want to do bulk of the work, but somebody else gets to walk away with the bulk of the wealth. And then we call it compassionate capitalism. And then we say it's nice. The compassionate capitalism is communism, according to me. And there is also this thing in India, right? The poorer you look, in spite of being rich, that is when you are hailed upon.
Yeah.
It's somehow rude to display wealth, which you worked hard for. But the same person will have an iPhone and will be tweeting it out of his iPhone, will not have a problem. Why not buy a normal phone and then spread the wealth across every, his domestic help? So it's a double standard. Like, here you're looked upon like, let's say, the way you are looked upon is, hey, इसके पास इतना पैसा है, फिर भी he is going in a Maruti Suzuki car.
Modesty.
That is modesty. Okay.
I think that's part of the Indian value system, right? We are taught to be humble, be modest, right from the beginning. That's in our upbringing, right? And that's where I think everything comes. And your point about, like, hey, why this appearance is held at such a high value. That's why.
Look, there are a lot of things we consider as Indian values which are not actually Indian
Or no,
values.
I'm not getting into that, like, whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, maybe I'm trying to rationalize why it is held at a higher regard.
I believe it's more out of jealousy than the actual reason of modesty and all of that. Yes, you can be. I'm not saying splurge your wealth or something, but if somebody is splurging his wealth, he has hard worked for it. He's splurging it. It is his own prerogative that he does that. Who are you to question? Just because you cannot do it for your daughter, you will then go and question that you're doing this. That is how I feel. And even the recent Pune incident that happened, right? The people who were throwing stones at it after the guy was taken away were people who could not afford the car and were like angry at the fact that this is done. Whatever he did is absolutely wrong. Okay. But that kind of, hooliganism is not something that is acceptable. Even that is illegal, right?
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, but there is no one person to point finger at, so it's easy to get away with that. So if what he did is illegal, you throwing stones at his car is also illegal. You beating him up is also illegal. So that is something, that is okay. That is okay illegal. This is bad illegal. Like if you fly on a private plane, it's fine. It's looked down upon, saying that you are flaunting your wealth and all of that. But if you fly on economy class, and then everybody is like, look at him, so many crores, he's a billionaire traveling on economy class. So I think that is an PR that they want to build, and that's why they do that. So, and Gen Zs are like, boss, I have money, I'm spending. You have a problem, deal with it, not mine. So that is where it's happening, and that's somewhere where workforce is going towards. And you all are silent.
No, we are looking at you, the person holding an iPad.
This
Do
is
not
true.
want to get into
Trying to-
controversy.
Yeah.
Like, where did we start this conversation from?
It's just kind of tapered off of existing conversation.
Yeah,
This is to, ensure I remember your questions, Ravi. Or else I ask you a question like this. Look, the entire, if the entire thing was, unscripted, I will ask you only questions like this. All of you will look at each other and smile and will not give me an answer. And it will be a monologue with 3 people. So that is why I wanted to, have questions that you're comfortable with, but I wanted to veer a little off to understand what your insights are. But I understand,
Nothing
I'm a
coming out of
recruitment
this.
consultant. I would want you to use my services last, not next month. So that's the whole thing. So